Good morning and welcome to This Week with Pastor Dino. I'm Dino and I'm so glad to have you joining us here at First Presbyterian Church of Bradenton, where we are cultivating hearts for Jesus from the heart of downtown. Now, it's been a great week. I was actually away in Tennessee working remote so that I was able to support Annie, my daughter, 12-year-old, going on her first mission trip up to Mountaintop, and she's going to be here in just a little bit to talk about that trip. But I want to start us off with a devotional based on Sunday's sermon, which was all about jealousy. And this devotional from Psalm 139 talks about our identity in God. For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. What a beautiful set of verses from Psalm 139. As we talked about jealousy on Sunday, we realized that jealousy is kind of born out of a low self-image, a lack of trust in God creating us who He's created us to be, which is His children. But when we remember the words of this verse, that God created us, He knit us together in our mother's womb, He knows us, He knows the plans He has for us, all of that factors in to this idea that we should have a very awesome, very high image of ourselves because we're created as children of God. We're created as Christ has made us. So that kind of trust reduces our need for jealousy when we focus away from God and focus on other people, what they have and what we don't have, and then it kind of spirals. So with that, I just want to leave you with these words from Psalm 139. God has made us, and He knows us intimately, and we thank Him for that. Thanks be to God. This week, the church office will be open all week long because we're done with all the youth camps and everything, so we're full staff, back in full swing here in the office. Let us know what we can do for you. Hope you're enjoying our summer sermon series, Rebellion. We are going to be wrapping that up here as we inch into August coming up soon. We'll keep it going. It's going to wrap up right around Labor Day. And then we'll start a new series for the fall. So keep on plugging away with us. We're enjoying doing that series for you. Well, as promised, we got back from camp on Saturday night late with Annie. Now I've got Annie here to talk about her experience. Let's take you there. Well, I am back here once again with Annie, our 12-year-old, who just got back from Mountaintop. Annie, was that the trip of your life or what?
Yes, it was.
And, I mean, you kind of told me, I know you just got back, Saturday night super late. You spoke in church on Sunday. You said it was kind of a life-changing thing for you. What was that all about?
Well, this camp made me more open to God and who I really am.
You made a lot of friends.
Yes.
And you did some work that was just incredible, right?
Yes.
What was the hardest work thing that you had to do?
Probably the day that we were in a basement and we had to deal with the black mold.
Yeah, that was, and apparently as soon as they realized that, they had to stop the job that they were supposed to do. Now, we didn't talk about this in church, but you met a couple of people who are one at camp and one at a pottery place, Tony and Phil, right? Are those the names of the people you met? Let's start at the pottery place, which is Beersheba Porcelain. Tell me a little bit about Phil and your experience with him.
Well, basically I got there and I got to help him sit in a chair because he has a walker, and he was very thankful, and we got to talk for a little bit about stuff that he was firing his new pottery yesterday and a couple other things. And then they have a koi pond. So we went to the koi pond, and basically he said his favorite thing to do every day is to go to the koi pond and call for the fish, going, "Fish, fish, food's ready, food."
And they respond to him? They come over there?
Yes, and he pours the food in.
That's cool. And now you got some beads that you brought home, but you came home with a couple other things that were straight from Phil. Tell us about those.
Well, basically Phil, because I gave him a hug after and we got to talk a little bit, he gave me a CD, a DVD, and then a book about him.
Yeah.
life.
In his life, his faith, and why he does his pottery, right?
Yes.
Yeah, very cool. Now tell us about Tony.
Tony was at the church camp, and I got to meet him. He got introduced, and then he was at my table for dinner. So I said hi, and he gave me the sticker that says, take me to Mountaintop. And the story behind the sticker was that his daughter was going to actually go, and it was a sunflower. His daughter was going to go to Mountaintop one year for camp, and then she got diagnosed with cancer, so she didn't go. So he made stickers that said, take me to Mountaintop. And
the sunflower was like her favorite flower or something?
Yes.
And that's kind of like carrying on her desire to be there, right?
Yes.
And that was an emotional thing for you.
Yeah. So then I said thank you. You gave me shivers about what you said about that. And then he gave me a penny with a cross on it.
Very cool.
And then after, at the pottery place, I actually got to see him again and say goodbye. We took a couple pictures together, and then we said that he gave me this bracelet/key ring thing, and it had sunflowers, and he said it was his last one, and I inspired him, like all the other adults at the camp said that I did.
Yeah, and you were an inspiration. You were an inspiration to us as a church because you went up there by yourself and you hung tight. That's not easy to do when you're 12. You thought maybe you're going to be homesick. We talked about that, but you weren't at all. You felt very much at home there. And it sounds like, you did the work, but you connected with God in a very special way, right? In worship and in devotionals, but you connected with people in a very special way. And I think that's what we need to remember is God's put us in this life and he's given us these opportunities as his children to be and do whatever we can to serve him. We never know what's going to happen. We never know who we're going to run into and how we're going to impact their life. So I love, Annie, that you wear your heart on your sleeve and you're always so sweet and you're always so wonderful and you just put it all out there and you connected with people and inspired them. So thank you for sharing those stories with us, and
you're welcome.
Thank you so much for being a representative of our church up in Tennessee on this mission trip.
I just want to say thank you to all the church members that have helped me through this mission trip. Thank you.
In terms of online programming, we've got breakfast and Bible study on Saturday morning. That's at 10 o'clock, held over Zoom. Go to bradenton.church/Zoom to find out how you can get connected to that class. And we've also got worship 9 and 11 o'clock every Sunday, and we stream both of our services live every week on Facebook and YouTube so that you can stay connected to what we're doing here. Remember, you were made by God. You were made with a purpose. You were made with a plan. God did not make a mistake. God doesn't make mistakes. God has made us just how he wants us. We have to trust in him. We have to trust in his plans. We have to trust that he has our best interest in mind. So think about that, and I'll see you next time on This Week with Pastor Dino. Bye-bye.